भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वाम् अनुसन्ददामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणी।
Now you welcome to this 10th class, continuation of teaching, that is which we started last week. Now you can all mute. I think already last time I hinted, because from the last class the profound subject of the Gita as well as Vedanta started. So doubts, if it arises, now and then you can clarify. Whoever wants to clarify, only they can unmute and interrupt me, because maybe when I take a pause, something like that. You see, otherwise what will happen if the doubts remain, the further things will not be understood. So last week also there were terminologies. This week also will be there. Lot of words. So those words anyway you have to means by heart or something like that, definition, or at least understand, need not by heart, understand. But when it comes to the actual verse, doubts may be there if you don't remember the terminology. At the time you can unmute and ask. So we will have a friendly sharing of knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, because profound subject. Many times the same fact will be repeated. I will repeat once or twice, but in Bhagavad Gita this will be repeated many times, because you have to take a U-turn. Reorientation has to take place in your intellect, mind. It means maybe loosely tell Antakarana, intellect. All over the years and all over the janmas, a wrong notion has gone into the intellect. That has to be changed. So many times we have to repeat, like the children repeat the tables, mathematical tables. So there's no other way. You have to also listen and repeat within yourself till it becomes conviction. Now, whatever we are sharing here, whatever we are sharing here, directly only after understanding the fact you can apply to your practical life. So don't ask any question from the day-to-day life without knowing the facts. Whatever we are teaching here is about your own higher self, the changeless awareness, Atma, Brahman. From that point, lot of things will be taught. That will not be applicable within the transactional reality. Very, very important. Within this transactional reality, everything is Satyam, because we are teaching, you know what all happening around. So what is to be done there? Basic common sense. Basic common sense we have to apply to deal with day-to-day problem. Then why are we sharing this? This is for tackling the day-to-day problem with common sense, but without worry. Very, very important. Common sense is also a reflection of God in human mind. That is what, somewhat pure mind. Don't bring terrorists and dacoits and those criminals in now. We are all nice gentlemen. So that manasakshi is from yourself, and common sense in the MMT we are sharing. I should not do to others what I don't want others to do to me. So that is the basic fundamental human tendency, is reflection of God. So you have to use that for transacting with the world. Then why we are teaching here? To deal with the world using common sense, but without worrying. That is the main thing. So in this one, like last time we used terminology. So one or two we summarize, then we will again take more terminology. So first thing always you have to remember is reality difference. This reality difference only eludes even senior students. Unless otherwise you thoroughly understand the reality difference, you will not get benefits. Small benefit like little more productivity and little more achievements and everything, and a light means slight lightness in the mind. They are all not high benefits. Okay, they can come through the implementation of karma yoga also. Emotional things we hear through Swamiji's lecture. Emotional things can be tackled with karma yoga. So here, if you want the benefits of self-knowledge, Atma-Jnana, Bhagavad Gita, reality difference you have to thoroughly understand. But accepting and going to the higher reality is another thing. But always keep in your mind there is a difference in the realities. So, Pradibhasika, Vyavaharika, Paramarthika. Subjective, objective, absolute. What we are doing here, you are listening and talking, this is objective reality. Here only I told common sense is the main thing. Okay, this is what the main reality. This is also called empirical reality. Relative reality is a very good word. Transactional reality, objective reality. This is the thing which total worldly transaction, any transaction, including Vedanta, listening, teaching, Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam, everything happens here. Meditation, contemplation, all things happens here. Bhakti, Karma Yoga, everything in this transaction reality only. Then there's a question maybe there. I did not prepare it, but it's suddenly coming, so I will tell it now. The question is that how teachings or understanding and clarification of doubt, assimilation, asking question, accepting, claiming will take me to higher reality. Because higher plane of reality is only benefits. Higher benefits. So it's a very easily understandable example is there. So dream is everyone knows dream and everyone experience. It is not seen. Okay. So never hereafter you understand yourself that I experienced a dream last night. I saw a dream. Don't tell. Don't tell means what? No, don't, not for telling others and everything. Don't tell yourself. Hereafter, dream is another state of experience. Last week we saw 3 states of experience. Waking state is this, dream state another, sleep state. So dream is another state of experience because it is mutually exclusive. During dream you don't know you are sleeping. So it's a state of experience and you are having another body, physical body you are having with all senses. I can see a bright light in dream. Here during day and night I cannot see anything, no? But in dream I can see everything clear. So you are having a set of indriyas, senses. So separate body is there, light body. So that's state of experience. So during the dream, I will not elaborate, it's a story, I will not elaborate, I want to tell you how this teaching can uplift you with a escape velocity like thing, and you can go to that space like higher absolute reality. Because during the dream, you just imagine a dream where you experience different things and a dog is chasing you. If you are not afraid of dog, take for example a tiger. Tiger chases you and it finally you are running and it pounced on you in the dream. What will you do? You will get up. That is the only way that will be automatic. So what is happening here? You are coming from your dream plane of reality to waking plane because of the things happening in the dream. Tiger chasing is a dream tiger. Your dream body is only chased in the dream world. But what happened because of that impact in the intellect of the dream body, it opens up and it lifts you up. You wake up, you may have goosebumps or some sweating, but within a few minutes or few hours, you will forget that dream. You will not search around tiger in the room. For a few seconds, it may be little this thing, but automatically, spontaneously, naturally, without any aid, without anybody's help, without any treatment, you will ignore the dream. So what happened in the dream has made you to uplift yourself. Similarly, what is happening here, if you listen sincerely, clear the doubts, take the understanding to conviction, then assimilate it, then accept, claim, own up your higher reality, then enjoy the benefits. It is possible. So that is what I want to tell about the reality difference. Now, some pause will be there because I have noted down at least some of the points I want to share you. So here we are having, I told you, Paramarthika Satyam, Vyavaharika Satyam, and Pradibhasika Satyam. These are all Vyavaharika Satyam. Pradibhasika Satyam is a dream. Paramarthika Satyam is absolute reality. Now we have got another terminology. Your higher reality has a term called Satya, Satyam. Then you should be familiarized with one more word called Mithya. It is neither existing thing nor a non-existing thing. It is not a non-existing thing. Non-existing thing is a human horn or horn of a horse or donkey. There's nothing like that. But the world is experienceable. World is experienceable, but on analysis, it will break down to Mithya. Mithya means the Mithyatvam of the world is Satyatvam of yourself, Atma. Atma is unnegatable, independent. Mithya world depends on. Universe on scientific analysis also you can do. Science is a very good this thing. If you analyze the world, you have a river or a building or a mountain or a plane, jet plane flying in the sky. All are made of substance, matter, molecules, atoms and pockets of energy. So functions and actions are only the actions and functions of the Mithya Vastu, Mithya thing. Because it appears a building or a mountain. When you analyze it is a pocket of energy, condensed pocket of energy. Then it's a concept. That concept cannot exist without consciousness. Without awareness, concept cannot exist without awareness. So, final thing is awareness. Even this body, if a person, I don't have eyesight, okay, I cannot see. But if you imagine a person without all the senses, the most important sense is touch. If that person does not have touch, he does not have the world. So, the world is dependent, but awareness is independent. So, awareness is called Satyam, Atma, Brahman, and the world is Mithya. Just like that only you can understand now. Not more than that. We will again analyze about Mithyatvam and Mithya Jagat with other examples also. And one or two examples now right away I can give. We were discussing about. So in US, Swami Sarvpriyananda was teaching. He was giving an example of a lake and the reflection of the bank. It's a forest, mountain and everything in the lake. So in twilight or in the night, this thing, that reflection is Mithya. Lake with relation to that reflection is Satyam. That's all. You should not extend it more than that. So this is another example. The reflection appearing absolutely like the forest mountain in the particular angle of light. So that will mislead people. So that is one example was recently given by Swami Sarvajananda. Now usually traditionally we give rope snake. If a rope is lying on the ground floor and if the lighting is medium, if it is clear light you can identify it's a rope. If it is full dark you cannot identify anything. If there is a dim light, the rope may appear as snake or a crack in the floor or a mala, some kind of chain. So that appearance is mithya, rope is satyam. One more word is there, adhyasa and adhisthana. Adhyasa is the snake, adhisthana is the rope, the sustainer and the sustained. So another this rope snake example is subjective to some people. For example, this can be argued, so some people can perceive the rope. So that is why we give another example, mirage water. Mirage will be appearing to all people. For example, if 100 people are going to this one, this thing, no, that is desert. For all the 100 people, a distant thing may appear as water, unless otherwise already a person has gone there and come out, and second time going. So it will appear to everyone as water is there, but when you near, there won't be water. It is the reflection of the sunlight on the sand. So mirage water is an example, very good example. So like that there are examples, and this mithya and satya. So like that you can remember some more words are there. Now we were circulating some terminologies long back, maybe 2-3 months before or something like that. What are the words used for Atman? Now Atman is extended to Brahman. Already I told, Atman is Vyashti, Brahman is Samashti. That is, Atman is only Brahman from the point of the whole universe, from the whole. Individual body and mind, as we are discussing individually to teacher and student, it is Atma we call, but there is no difference between Atman and Brahman. So here Atma is higher self, your own higher self, that is changeless awareness. Brahman is the universal consciousness, totality. That difference you can understand. Atma is your own higher self, Brahman. Then, now, when we discuss when we discuss and teach and share and understand, because Atma is yourself, this Atma or Brahman is taught with two methodologies. One is with the help of the nature of Atma. It is not attributes. Attributes and nature, there is a difference. Attribute is blue flower or long pen, something like that. Anything which describes this thing. But here, this one is the nature. Nature is happiness, total security, no lacking, purnatvam, fullness, untouched by anything. These are all the nature of Atma. So this is describing the Atma from the point of its Sarupa Lakshana, its nature. Another methodology is, in English I don't know, it is called Tadastha Lakshana. That is, if you are going with a guide or with your friend to a place or village and you want to go to a friend's place, you are going with another friend or guide. So from a distance he wants to show you the house with the help of something. opposite to a big tree. Or sometime in the village, what Vedanta says, it's a momentary relationship. The guide can tell you. You see that crow is sitting on the house. That house we will be going. So that is a temporary. So once you identify the house with the help of the crow which is sitting on the house, then the crow may fly out, but that house will be registered in the house, your mind. Then you can go to that house. From next time onwards, you need not depend on the crow. Always it won't be sitting. No? Similarly, we started with the creation. Using the creation, we will be understanding Atma. Using the creation, we will be sharing or I will be teaching. Bhagavad Gita is teaching in these chapters, 7.6 and everything. Today onwards, 7.4 and 5. This is called Srishti Prakriya. Srishti Prakriya's main aim is to understand Atma, not Srishti. Very, 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 very important. If you go and try to understand Srishti, you will get doomed. Just confused. And your worries will increase only. Your confusion will increase. Using the Srishti, understand yourself, understand Atma, Brahman, and enjoy the benefit. So the importance should be given to the goal, the understanding Atma and not to Srishti. This is called Tadastha Lakshana and Swarupa Lakshana. Now we are discussed about a little bit about Atma, Brahman. And creation also we started last time with the help of the 8th chapter, 3rd and 4th sloka, Aksharam Brahma Paramam, Brahman, and it's Brahman's own another Swarupa is Atman. Manifestation we taught. Okay, manifestation is through the reflection in the Sushma Sharira. Atma is Brahman, no? Jiva Buddha. That is Jiva, is not different from Brahman. Then how that we are having two variants, Jivatma, Paramatma. So we say Jivatma is not different from Paramatma, but that is after realizing. Otherwise, all these trillions and trillions of human beings behave like Jivatma only, soul only. Unless they understand yourself, you will not accept that you are not the soul. So, how the difference come? This is happening because the power of Brahman, Maya, the power has two properties. World is projected and the Brahmatvam is covered. So, till you realize there is conditioning is happening. Conditioning. Because of conditioning, the real thing is not able to understand itself. It has got that it has got Brahman, Atman has got sentience. But because of the conditioning, it is not able to identify itself. This I think again I will tell you the same example maybe, but that you cannot directly apply, but we give this power of Upadhi. If you see a crystal, but if there is anything nearby color thing, the crystal will appear colored. If there is a red flower nearby, the crystal will appear red, but the crystal is not changing the color. So here, because of the Upadhi, that is because of that red flower, the crystal appears red. Similarly, because of the Upadhi, that is ignorance happen in the intellect, we don't identify ourselves as Atma. So that is because of the conditioning of a consciousness. Brahman appears as Jiva, means Paramatma behaves like a soul, Jivatma. But the terminology for Jivatma and Paramatma, common thing is Atma. From the language part, it is fine, but it doesn't happen so easily when in the transaction world. So we have to learn a lot of things, assimilate, take to conviction, then contemplate and understand your higher self and claim, own Own up your higher self. Till that time, you will feel that you are the soul. So that is very important. Then this is called Upadhi, the conditioning factor. Then next terminology is, because we already discussed about Maya, the power of Brahman. So, using the power of Brahman, the world appears. So, world, universe. World means, sometimes we tell world, Loka also told in Sanskrit. So, Brahman is a male, female, that kind of thing is not there. So, it is consciousness, the higher reality, changeless thing, non-changing higher self, non-changing awareness of higher nature, higher self. But we see the changing world. World is changing, your body is changing, mind is changing, because body, mind is a part of the world. So, there is a very big contradiction between these two statements. World is non-different from Brahman. Brahman is not changing, but world is changing. So, what is this big confusion? Here only you have to understand with the help of power of Brahman Maya, Brahman appears as universe. For appearing as universe, there should be a cause, karana, cause and effect. So, when a goldsmith makes an ornament, goldsmith is the intelligence cause, efficient cause, and gold is the material cause. When the pot maker makes the pot maker is the efficient cause, and clay is the material cause. So here, Brahman is the efficient cause, nimitta karanam. Maya, the power is upadana karanam. So nimitta karanam, upadana karanam is a very, very common term in Vedanta. Intelligence cause and material cause. So here it appears as two. But when it is related to power, it appears as one. Power of Prime Minister. Power is non-different from Prime Minister. Power depends upon Prime Minister, but Prime Minister is independent of the power. Prime Minister goes to... Prime Minister is... Now this Prime Minister may not have family. Otherwise, Prime Minister with family means he will not show his Prime Ministerhood in the family. Prime Minister goes to a temple, he will not show, even if others give respect. So, Prime Minister remains without his power also. But as long as the Prime Minister is there, whatever thing, power cannot remain without Prime Minister. So, here, Maya is the power and it is the material cause. So, it is not different from Brahman. So, it's an image like. Image is not different from you. If you sit in a hotel, there's a table. In front of the table, there's a mirror. If you sit and there's a reflection of you. When you order for coffee, you will not order 2 cups of coffee. No one will order, only 1 cup. No, it appears as 2 people, but you will know. So similarly, there is another small example, silly example given. So there's no countability for Maya. There's no countability. Unreal, all the things we were discussing one of the class also in group discussion, appearance, unreal, means there is no countability. It is not different from Brahman. It is the power, glory. I told already, life is required to understand the truth, to enjoy. So that is what Maya power. So here comes Upadana Karanam. Nimitta Karanam is Brahman, intelligence cause, and Upadana Karanam is Maya. Then, when it comes to the universe, what happens? The creation we saw last week, the sloka number. It started with the sloka number, 7th chapter, 4th sloka, and 7th chapter, 5th sloka we covered. Panjabodha. It starts from Prithivi, earth, then Apaha, water, then Agni, fire, then Vayu, then space, Sushma Bhuta. Then 3 more were there, Mana, Buddhi, Ahankara. There is a nice thing, actually Mana, Buddhi, Ahankara is taken in Bhagavad Gita, Sankhya. So anyway, so here changes takes place. So changes takes place means what? Where changes takes place?
8:30 time.
We are reconnecting.
अच्छा
नेट बेल्को में लटागा
ये लाइट
नेट बेल्क
ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ನೆಟ್
ಇಲ್ಲ ಕೂಡ yellow flag ಇದೆ
ತುಂಬಾ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ
ನೆಟ್ ಬೆಲ್ಕ್ ಲೈಟ್ ಬೆಲ್ಕ್
Audible means you can mute now. I am also hearing you. I am also hearing you. When you can mute, I can start. I am hearing in the earphone. You can all mute now. Then we will continue with that. Now, here we were discussing about Nimitta Karanam, Upadana Karanam. Then the changing universe we have to account. Brahman is changeless. So with the Upadana Karanam, it appears as world, the Mithya, power. But the change happens in the power. So here that power is non-different from Brahman. When the power is non-different from Brahman, and power Maya as changes, you have to account for this slight contradiction, because changeless awareness is Brahman, the power of the changeless awareness is Maya, that changes. So how that is not causing changes in the Brahman? For that we account the reality difference. Maya is lower reality, Brahman is higher reality. So here the examples are different examples are given that the total cause changes into product in some cases. In some cases only example, but in many cases it is like that only, the world. The cause and effect. Cause will not be there, the effect only will be there. Raw material, product. Product becomes a raw material for another product, then product. So the raw material totally changes to product. General example given in Vedanta is just repeating, but you can have any example. So milk turning into curd. Though the curd will have some properties of the milk, it won't be a milk anymore. You cannot use curd in place of milk. So this kind of changes in the raw material is called Parinami Upadana Karanam. With the changes happening in the cause. Plastic, I told you, polymers are changing into plastic and everything. There are like that. So many things in the creation is like that only. The raw material is totally changed into the product. The raw material cause is totally changed in the effect. But there are some events, some instances where there won't be change in the raw material, but it will give rise to new things. That is, most famous example is dream and the waker. There is no change in the waker. He is sleeping. But the dream world appears along with the dream body. That is a beautiful example for Vivarta Upadana Karanam. Without change in the raw material, without change in the waker, he becomes a dreamer. Rope snake is another thing. The rope snake example is not as clear as this. So that's why I am not giving that. So another example is mirage water. There is no change in the sand, no change in the light. It appears as water. But dream and waker we will take up. So the dream you are having another body of your own. So that is happening without any change in the waker. So that is a vivarta upadana karanam. This universe is also like that. The universe happens without any change in the Brahman Maya couple. You can take like that. Prakriti Purusha, Kshetra Kshetrajna. That combination you can also understand, enjoy if you understand Bhagavad Gita's prime teaching. With this body, mind, intellect, you can understand, you can claim there's a changeless awareness in you and changing body, mind, intellect, and through this changing body, mind, intellect, you are observing the changing world, transactions and everything. Whereas the changeless awareness is Atma, and when you claim it, this changing thing will not affect you. So that is what, anyway, we will have to start some slokas. So we will see some, this one, Upanishads, this thing in quotation in the next class. Otherwise there won't be any time for covering the slokas. So we will go to the 6th sloka of 7th chapter. That is the continuation of the creation. 6th sloka, 7th chapter we will.
एतद्योनीनि भूतानि सर्वाणीत्युपधारय अहङ्कृष्णस्य जगतः प्रभवः प्रलयस्तथा
Chapter 7, verse 6. Understand that all beings and elements have their cause in this twofold Prakriti. Therefore, I am the one from whom this entire world comes. So too, I am the one into whom everything resolves. That's the translation.
Yeah. Here it's a manifestation and manifestation. So this is also a very important thing to understand. It happens in millions of years, so need not worry, it will not happen in our lifetime. So Pralaya and Prabhava. Prabhava is creation, appearance, Pralaya is resolution. So that manifestation and unmanifestation happens in the, actually should not tell, but for understanding purpose I can tell, it's a mass of consciousness. The manifestation is a mass of consciousness, but not the consciousness. Na prajnana ganam, it is told in Mandukya Upanishad. We have to very carefully remember, consciousness is not a mass of consciousness, but the manifested world we can just understand, though it is not told anywhere. I am just telling, it is just an appearance in the consciousness. It is just an appearance. So Pralaya, Prabhava happens, manifestation and manifestation happens within the consciousness. That's what we are all. Not we are all only. The 14 logas, the all full galaxy, millions of billions of stars that you know, even astronomy has not found out. That is what all the logas, the full logas, including space, is a manifestation and manifestation in you, in the Atman. That is the glory entered, no? So now, next sloka. 7th sloka, 7th chapter.
मत्तः परतरं नान्यत् किञ्चिदस्ति धनञ्जय मयि सर्वमिदं प्रोतं सूत्रे मणिगणा इव
Chapter 7, verse 7. Dhananjaya, Arjuna, there is no other cause superior to me. All this is woven as its being in me, like the beads in a string. That's the translation.
Here Bhagavan is given an example, that is a big canvas. In the canvas there is a bead work. only canvas, a big cloth like thing. It is not a glorious thing. With the beadwork of different colors, different glittering things, beadwork in the canvas. So the beadwork is the sustained by the canvas. Sustainer is the canvas, adhara. This is adhyasa. Adhisthana is the canvas. Without canvas, beadwork cannot exist. With respect to the beadwork on the canvas, don't say that beads were somewhere else and everything. This is not an example. Example is up to the point. Canvas can exist without beads also. But we are having a lot of example. Your own mobile. I tell screen and the scene. That is not only applicable for TV and monitor. Now in the touch screen also, they have increased the screen size only because that is what you all give importance now. So that scene is appearance, screen is the adhara, sustainer. So now we will go to the next sloka. These are all simple ones.
7.8.
7.9.
7, I think.
7.8. 7.8.
रसोऽहमत्सु कौन्तेय प्रभास्मि शशिसूर्ययोः प्रणवः सर्ववेदेषु शब्दखे पौरुषं पृषु.
Chapter 7, verse 8. Kaunteya, that's Arjuna, I am the taste, basic taste, in the water. I am the light in the moon and the sun. I am Om in all the Vedas. I am the sound in space, and I am the strength in human beings. That's the translation.
These are all very simple to understand. It is why these are all told means the glorious things are predominant. So don't mean that non-glorious things are away from God. Very important thing. See, same kind of examples are, lot of examples are there in chapter number 10 and chapter number 11. 11 is intermittent, not continuous. In 10, starting from sloka number 20 up to 42. Only 4-5 slokas in between 32-33 are little Vedanta teaching. Otherwise, all other things are glories of God. And in the Vishwarupa Darshana Yoga, lot of slokas are there. Both. Here in 10th chapter, only glories. In means for example, here it is told, no, the taste of water and strength of the person and Om in the mantras. Like that, no? There it is in meters, it is Gayatri. In Masa, it is Mrigasirsha. In Veda, it is Sama. Like that, the famous things. But in 11th chapter, purposely after 10th chapter, 11th chapter, even destruction is non-different from God. That's why I my own definition. No? God is general orders of development and general orders of destruction. So in Vishwarupa Darshana Yoga, total destruction of the Gaurava army is already, Bhagavan is showing to Arjuna, Arjuna got frightened. So there it is destruction also, it is explained. That beautiful combination of 10th and 11th chapter, not only glory things. So that is what, these are all easy things to understand. Then next sloka we'll see, 7.9.
पुण्योगन्धपृथिव्याश्च तेजश्चाग्नि विभावसो जीवनं सर्वभूतेषु तपश्चास्मि तपस्विषु.
Chapter 7, verse 9. I am the sweet fragrance in the earth and the brilliance and heat in the fire. I am the very life in all beings and the ascetic disciplines and their results in the ascetics. That's the translation.
These are all easy to understand. Again, the Prithvi is Gandha, there is smell. So like that, each is explained, and you can also go through these things. And I told you that 10th chapter 20 to 42 and 11th chapter. And we will at least cover one sloka of the teaching today. That is, after this one more, not 2 slokas are there. 7th chapter, up to 12 we have to cover. Then I thought of covering at least Asociam, that is the 11th sloka of 2nd chapter. We have to come back there. Then if you see the time, we will go to the 10th sloka.
बीजं मां सर्वभूतानां विद्धि पार्थ सनातनम् बुद्धिर्बुद्धिमतामस्मि तेजस्तेजस्विनामहम्.
Chapter 7, verse 10. Partha, that's Arjuna, understand me as the one who is the eternal seed in all beings. I am the intellect of those that have the capacity to discriminate. I am the brilliance in the brilliant. That's the translation.
And this is also self-explanatory. And the only thing is that in manifestation and everything, brilliance and these things we have to understand. We will also be telling shining. So you need not tell that Atma shines and everything. It reveals, evident, self-evident. So we use that. So that in that context, okay. So don't imagine that when you see a Jyoti or Atma, then only it is Atma. You are the Jyoti. You are the revealer. You are the shine, which reveals the thing. You are the self-evident. So that way you have to understand. This is nothing like the shine. Next sloka, 11th sloka is there.
बलं बलवतां चाहं कामरागविवर्जितम् धर्माविरुद्धो भूतेषु कामोऽस्मि भरतर्षभ.
Chapter 7, verse 11. Arjuna, the foremost in the clan of Bharata. In the strong, I am the strength that is free from desire and attachment. In all beings, I am the desire that is not opposed to dharma. That's the translation.
Yeah, the strength of the strong people and the non-binding desire of the desires. And that is the word, last one. Dharma virto bhudeshu kamosmi bharatarshava. Here only one important thing is that even grahastha is glorified. I am the, actually it's kama means it is called sexual urge. That also dharma virto kam means that desire not different from dharma, undeviation from dharma, undeviated kama also. So why means it is like this means then what about if the question is asked, what about that other activities? So there only a question comes. Because God is non-different from adharma. Anyatra dharmat, anyatra adharmat, anyatra asmat, kridat kridat. So what will happen there if you think that that's also God? You will get deluded in that and you cannot realize God. See, the thing is that that is the very important thing to understand. Everything is God, why I can't do Papa? So, Papa gives instant ecstasy. But you need permanent ecstasy. So, that is the reason all this teaching. So, that is why in Bhagavad Gita and everything, Dharma is given so much important, Sattvika, instead of more Rajasic and Tamasic. So in Sattvic, what will happen? You will know that you are the God, you are the Atman, and till last breath, you will have that tranquility, calmness, happiness, and for you also, for the people around also, and you can get disconnected from the birth life cycle. That is possible only if you understand about Dharma and Dharma virta kama. Means not adharmic kama. Dharmic kama also I am. That's what God is telling. This difference you have to understand. Any questions you can ask after the class also and afterwards also. So that is a very important thing. This 10th and 11th also. 11th is over. Then 12th we will finish and try to touch the teaching one. Otherwise we will stop. 12th we will definitely finish off.
चैव सात्विका भावाः राजसास्तामसाश्च ये मत्त एवेति तान् विद्धि न त्वहं तेषु ते मयि.
Chapter 7, verse 12. Those beings and things which are indeed born of sattva, rajas, and tamas, may you know them to be born from me alone. They are in me, but I am not in them. That's the translation.
That is the one you have to understand. They are in me, but I am not in them. They are in me, but I am not in them. What is this? Appears seeming contradiction. This you have to very clearly get rid of this. Already I have told many times. This sloka also tells, so we can again repeat it. It will be repeated in 9th chapter also again. So this is the effect of the different planes of reality. Dream is in you, but you are not in dream. That's all. Now you are not in dream. Dream cannot happen without you. You can be without dream also. That's all. So without much complication, you understand with this. I always tell Karnataka is India, but India need not be Karnataka. So same thing. Dream cannot happen without you, but you are independent of dream. Okay, so dream is in you, you are not in dream. What is the problem? Same thing. The whole world is in me, but I am not only the world. That way, then that Purnatvam comes. You are the sustainer of the world, but you are more than that, much more than that, because you are of higher reality. The reality difference only makes this to say like this. So this A is equal to B, but B is not equal to A. That is what is told. Mathematical thing will not work out here. So this, for you to understand, you have to have eligibilities, karma yoga, again, because it's the inward journey, the mental purification is required. Then with the again repetition of this, you will be able to realize the changeless awareness in you. That changeless awareness is of higher nature. You have to claim it. You have to own it up. Unless otherwise you own it up, you will not get the benefits of higher benefits of this self-knowledge. If it is nearing nearing 9 o'clock, we will.
7 more minutes.
Huh?
7 more.
7 more minutes. So, with all this understanding to a somewhat extent, then only you will be able to receive the teachings. Those teachings we left about 7 classes before, 8 classes before, I think. This is the 10th class, means in the 2nd class. When Arjuna got confusion, and again Bhagavan was shaking in the third slokas of the 2nd chapter, 3rd and 4th. And then again he was a little bit better. He was telling, how can I shoot Drona and Bhishma? Then Karpanya Dosha Bhagavata. That is, Arjuna is surrendering, and Arjuna is showing some more Viveka in the 8th sloka of 7th chapter. Iga Mutrartha Pala Bhoga Viragaha. In the first chapter, he was only telling about Nakangshe Vilayam Krishna Nacharajyam Sukhanija. He was telling, I don't want anything in this world, no kingdom and everything. But in the 8th sloka of 7th chapter, he was telling, I don't want Swarga also, I don't want. That dispassion. Then he is ready for receiving this knowledge. Then Bhagavan started teaching in the 11th sloka, Asosyam, Asosyottam, Prajnavadam cha Pashase, Gadasum, Agadasum cha, Nanasochanti Pandita. You are grieving for what you should not, for which you should not grieve. And there is no necessity to lament for the living being, and for living or for the dead. Gadasum, Agada, those who are having breathing and not having breathing, or the living and not living. Then you are not speaking like a Pandita. So that confusion was there in Arjuna, but he is ready for the teaching. Initially only he was telling, I will leave the battlefield and go, but he remained there and he surrendered. It means he is determined to stay and listen to Lord Krishna, and Lord Krishna also saw some developments in the disciplines and Jnana Yogida. Then he started teaching this, and Krishna wanted to give a permanent solution and not an advice. He started teaching from the fundamentals. Superficial teaching is not sufficient, because that will not make the instantaneous within I don't know how many hours, 4-5 hours he taught, I don't know. Within that he has to bring Arjuna to the fighting mode, and he started fighting. So that powerful teaching is Bhagavad Gita. So that we will be seeing. That is the where we left it. So from next class we will start with this slokas. That is second chapter, sloka from 11 to 30. 11 to 30. 20 slokas are the, let us see how many slokas we can cover, but most of them are repeating the nature of Atma Brahman and a little bit of Anatma, and a few slokas Bhagavan is asking him to fight also. So those things we'll see. So here as per Bhagavad Gita's general structure, not specific, general structure, first 6 chapter is Tvam Padartha. So then next this one, 7th already we covered, 8th also we covered. Then some of the 11th and 10th I told, that is Tat Padartha, about the God. So Tattvamasi, that is one. But Tattvamasi is not very obvious. That's why this teaching is required. Because you are God means nobody will understand before understanding Gita. So that is the thing hidden in the teaching. That's why teaching is required. It's not very obvious. So that will be there from the next chapter, the next class, from 11th class. I think it is nearing 9 o'clock. So we will complete this, and anything we can ask me. Otherwise we will continue the teaching of Lord from the 11th sloka itself of second chapter for next class. We will end it.
Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.